Good morning, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. Kind of got a different kind of video planned out today. I know you guys are looking at silver, but I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess, hype. I'm gonna talk about hype today, and I was thinking about how I wanted to do this video, and I was like, I really don't know how to really start this out until I just get talking. I spend a lot of time talking to different people. I like talking to older people, and we were talking kind of about this the other night with me and another gentleman, and I said, that really would make a good video. And with everything going on, it's kind of suiting right now because there is a lot of hype. But one thing that I haven't really talked a whole lot about is when I started this channel, I kind of started it with the idea, if you've watched some of my original early on videos, it was about kind of ways to save money, ways to kind of get ahead in this world. I mean, we're living paycheck to paycheck now more than ever. But, I didn't like the rat race that the world was and still really is. People putting in 90, 100 hours a week in the oil industry, which is what I did at the time, to people working 2 jobs now, 3 jobs in some cases, just making ends meet. And it's really ridiculous because people don't realize what they're doing. You're so tired out, you really don't have the time to think for yourself. Now, I know if you've been following the channel for a while, you're probably a thinker. Obviously, like minds tend to flock together on YouTube. If I'm putting up music videos on YouTube, it's going to be people that like music that watch. We talk a lot about money. We talk a lot about finance. We talk a lot about precious metals, homesteading, canning food, different types of stuff that we've done over the period that I've been doing YouTube. And right now we're seeing a huge hype in meme stocks, meme cryptos. Look at GameStop. I don't know if you guys are following GameStop right now. Just in the last week, it's up 300%. Over the last month, it's up 500%. Obviously, a lot of that does have to do with Roaring Kitty coming back. He was the YouTuber that really brought GameStop and the manipulation of the GameStop, or the shorting. Some people will say it's not manipulation. They're shorting a company. When you short anything, you're basically driving the price down. You're borrowing whatever the item is. In this case, it was shares of GameStop. They're borrowing it, selling it on the open market, and driving the price even lower. And then they're borrowing more, selling it on the market, and driving the price lower, hoping that they can bring it to zero and bankrupt the company, put all those people out of work, and make a profit. And to a certain point, there are a lot of people on Wall Street that thrive on this kind of behavior. It's not about creation. It's about essentially destruction. And a lot of that does happen with precious metals. When it comes to shorting, they're driving the price down lower and lower. But at a certain point, if it's not profitable to mine, then essentially companies will struggle. They'll either go out of business, they'll cease production, they'll stop mining it, and you can't really get mining operations back up and running instantly. It's not something that tomorrow the price could jump to $50 on silver, and all of a sudden, boom, let's just open some mines back up. There's a lot of loopholes that they have to go through. But really, I find it interesting that people are chasing. They're so tired, they're chasing because they're work, and they're not getting in front. And I actually had a friend of mine text me today asking me, hey, you going to buy any of the AMC or any of the GameStop this time? Nope. I said, who would have guessed? What really changed in the fundamentals is you have a big-time YouTuber that came out, and he's now talking again about GameStop. And, it was so popular, they made a movie on it. It's a great movie. I highly recommend, if you haven't seen the movie, I recommend that you go and check it out. It's called Dumb Money. Yeah, really good movie. And now he's just on Twitter. He'll probably come back to the YouTube platform, I would think, because he still has that huge following. But when people chase, most of the time, they end up losing because they're chasing something that has already skyrocketed. And they're looking for the big dream of the big hit. I mean, can you imagine you put $100 in a GameStop and then all of a sudden it's worth $4,000 or $5,000? I mean, just because this happened once doesn't mean it will happen again. And I think a lot of this right now, this hype, is, I don't want to say propaganda because that's not really the right word to use, but I think a lot of it is designed, and it's by design, to get people to chase, to put their money in now after the big money has already gotten in. I mean, something I find interesting as I was watching GameStop shares, you could actually see the price was starting to climb at a faster and faster rate. And today, I mean, you're talking $70 right now, $70 or $80 today. For a share that was only $10 not too long ago. Now, yeah, that's only an 8x move. However, this is the second time around. A lot of people lost a lot of money on GameStop. Now, yes, there was a lot of people that were millionaires almost instantly. But when you're chasing something and it's already up, 5, 10, 12 times, it's a possibility that you miss that opportunity, With silver, one of the reasons I love silver is, what do you really have? You have silver. When you look at an ounce of silver and you look at the charts, you look at the long-term patterns, what do you have? You have 1980, we got up to, I don't even know what it was. It got up high. 2011, we had a big run up. It got up to $49. Technically, it got up to $50 and change. But the charts show the closing price, so it shows $49.80. That was a huge move back then, because it went from like $5 to $49.80. That was a 10x move. Can you imagine what happened to the people that got in at $40 or $50? And then all of a sudden it plunged the next day by like $12 and it just kept falling. A lot of those people had to sell at huge losses. And yeah, you can say that you have the attitude that you're not going to sell if the price plunges because you don't want to take the loss. I am one of them people. I'm a stickler for not wanting to take a loss. Eventually, yeah, it will come back around, but how much do you lose in the process? When the last time that, I'll say, Shiba really spiked, Shiba's the crypto, one of the cryptos that I do buy, and we'll get into the cryptos here in a minute. But when it last time shot up, it fell. I took some profits, but I had a lot of money tied up in it, and I couldn't do nothing with it. Back then, silver was only $18. Even if I waited, if I took it out, I could have bought the silver, obviously, but I would have gotten a whole lot less because I lost money on it in the end. And then if I had stayed with it, which is what I did, I refused to sell it. I said, just move on. Write it off. Not write off, but just leave it in there. It's a loss, and don't mess with it. And that's what I did. And fast forward to right now, we're in a pretty good boom. It went up quite a bit, my holdings on that. I've since sold it, but left the money in my Robinhood account for the time being, waiting for a big drop. That way I can maybe catch a bounce and make another quick profit since money's in there. But I've been on the fence of taking it out and buying more gold and silver. Why? Because I think gold and silver is still extremely undervalued. And here's the thing, though. A lot of people are putting their money in that type of stuff and leaving it in there to potentially hit a home run. And people aren't looking at the stuff like gold and silver that hasn't even budged yet. I found it so funny when I was talking to a friend, and I told him, I said, you should consider buying silver. Buy some gold. It's a safe haven asset. It's there. We talk about it all the time on the channel. Anybody that's been following the channel for a while know this. But when you're chasing something, you're behind the curve already. The big money has already moved in. You're just days or weeks away from the huge drop. And we're seeing that happen right now. You know, Bitcoin, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin got up to, 74,000 maybe? Now we're down to 61. Are we on our way back down? A lot of people want to tell you, oh, a good healthy pullback. It may be healthy to not see something skyrocket and just keep going up and have a nice consolidation. But here's the thing. Do you want to get in and then the pullback happens? No. You know, with silver and gold, we haven't seen a drastic jump yet. I mean, you know, some people will say 20% on gold, 27% on silver. That's a pretty big jump. No, it's not. No, it's not. 100%, I'll say, is a big jump. 500%, a big jump. You know, when you look at stuff like GameStop right now, you know, the fundamentals of the company hasn't changed much. Yes, it was manipulated down in terms of shorting. And some people will say that's not really manipulation. Maybe it's not, but it is being falsely pushed beneath its fair market value. Therefore, some people will call that manipulation. And that's what's happening with silver. Is it manipulated or is it just pressed down by shorting? It's not cheating necessarily, but it is pushing the price lower to where it's artificially cheap. And people can't understand that. And it drives me nuts because I don't want to, obviously, I'm not just on here for the money. If you guys knew what YouTube paid me, you would probably laugh that I'm on here every day doing this. I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to people, and I know it does help some people. When I read people's comments and they leave me a good comment, that's a heartfelt comment, you know, it makes me feel good knowing that what I'm doing could make a difference in some people's lives. This could change essentially your position down the road because you took a little bit of your money and you put it into gold and silver. I mean, I would even go so far as to say there's a possibility it could save you and your family from starvation someday. Now, some people will say that's kind of pushing it, but I mean, here's the thing. We use dollars today for everything we buy. What would happen if tomorrow the dollar plunged? And I'm talking plunged. The DXY went to 105 down to even 50. I mean, that's not even a total collapse. We're just talking half. It lost half its value. Well, prices on everything would double. But that's half. Can you imagine what would happen? That would feed a lot of people to all of a sudden de-dollarize instantly. And that's part of the reason why they don't want to tell you that people are de-dollarizing now, because as it feeds it, more people do it, it accelerates. That's why, you know, there's an old saying that, how did you go broke? Well, slowly at first and then all at once. And that's exactly what's happening with the dollar. It's slowly losing value until a day it just plunges. And a lot of people will be left out in the cold. And I hear it all the time. Oh, you've been saying manipulation forever. You've been saying silver's going to go up forever. I mean, come on. Silver was $15. $15. Not even when I started this channel. I've done openings at $15 an ounce. Now it's almost 30 an ounce. I mean, that's a pretty good jump. Doubled your money. Yeah, it ain't crypto, but it's real. It's sound. So with that being said, we're going to end this video. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Have a great one. Kind of think about what's going on. I'd hate to see anybody get burned. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.